this is interesting because he has some money, or he's in one sort of an account or something, and you keep telling him to liquidate it. And he says,
Well,
"No, I want to save this for you guys." Well, you're going to have to pay
yeah.
taxes on it then. What
Well,
is that,
no, no, no,
Nvidia
no,
or
no, no,
something?
no, no. Yes, but no, Jackie. The way it works is that first of all, that when somebody dies, okay, and it's not an IRA and it's just a regular brokerage account or
Okay.
real estate or a
Okay.
business, and then I'm going to start going into a succession planning here.
Okay, good.
Okay, you don't pay any taxes on it. You get what's called a step up in basis, which means there's no taxation on any of the money that you inherit. If it's an IRA, you have 10 years to pull that money out. It's called an inherited IRA. However, if you just have a house or another piece of real estate, you don't pay any taxes on that when your family dies. The key is to make sure it's left. It has a beneficiary on it. If it doesn't have a beneficiary on it, and they both die, your parents, it's going to probate. So you better have a trust. Now, we can help you with that too, or we can refer you to the right attorney if you want to use a lawyer. We have the software we paid for. We have a system that we paid for, and that we are able to help people, set up trusts, which I've done quite a few of them for the show.
Oh, good.
The thing is that there's a lot of people today that are getting older and they don't have succession planning. And succession planning is extremely important. I know there's a ton of CPAs that are retiring left and right. Lots of my clients are asking for recommendations to new CPAs. I mean, in the last week, I gave my brother he can't even handle any more business. I gave my CPA about 3 or 4 people because you don't have succession plans. And succession planning is extremely important when you are in your 60s. We have a succession plan. It's written. It says that in the event that anything happens to me, my wife doesn't get the business, my daughter does. And my son-in-law will then run both the insurance, and my daughter will run the advisory. And we have people, and we have younger people to make sure that your money is going to be invested properly still. That's why Tim Travis is a sub-advisor for the advisory. We'll start talking about our workshop that we're going to do here in the next week or two. But so the key with this is that you have a written plan, because most people don't have written plans. And that is extremely important because, again, like, for example, what if you own a company and it's in your name personally and you pass away? That's a probate issue because you don't have a trust. And let's just say you did have a trust, but you own it personally and it's not owned by the trust. Your business goes through probate. So basically, they'll open a probate. Your wife will come and say, "Hey, I'm the next of kin," but you just opened a probate. Now, there's good things and bad things about that. Good things about always opening up a probate, folks, is that you're giving the creditors the time they need to make a claim against your estate. So if there's any creditors that want to make a claim against you, then they can come forward during the time that you opened up the probate. You don't want to be forced into it, though, because you didn't plan correctly, because that's going to cost money. You're going to have to hire a lawyer. You're going to have to go in front of a commissioner. It's called a commissioner in the probate court, and they're going to assign somebody to be your power of attorney. You could have already named that, or a trustee. You could have already named that. Now, there's a lot of people that don't have anybody. You better pick somebody, and you better get yourself set up, because this is happening every single day as we get older, and it's not an easy thing. Succession planning is critical, whether you're an individual or a business owner especially. You've got to succession plan. Do you have a partner? Do you have somebody in mind that's maybe an employee that's younger that you would love to have succeed with your business? Well, you got to do certain things. Buy a key man policy on that person. Start looking at buy-sell agreements. Most people that have partnerships in a business, they don't have properly funded buy-sell agreements. Now, I'm not going to get into that on the radio, but these are things that you know as a business owner that are in your contract, if you have an operating agreement, which you should have, that need to be taken care of. We have the tools to do business valuations and how much insurance you need and all this other stuff. We have the tools to do that. I pay for these incredibly awesome software programs, and we're able to do these things for anybody. And the way I found them was because a lot of these big insurance companies were doing them for their higher end clients. And I said, hey, I think I just would rather buy I'm independent. I don't like to rely on anybody or any insurance company. So.
Premier Southwest Planning Group LLC is a registered investment advisor. The content of this advertisement is intended for informational purposes only and is not intended to be investment advice. The views expressed in this program are subject to change based on market and other conditions.